Hello, hello. It's time to start the show. Hello, hello. Let's see if this thing's working. Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello. It's time to start the show. Hello. Hello, bonjour. Auf Wiedersehen to you. Oh, you guys can't hear me. So excited. Had this amazing thing today called a chai latte. What? That was amazing. Drink change. I don't know what they do to that, but boy, was it good. But I do feel a little gross if I drink too much of it. That's just me. Okay, today we're doing contracts. Who could write the 4 essentials of a valid contract? So much caffeine, Dana says. We are doing like real estate exam questions. It's not exactly like the most exciting topic in the world. What are the 4 essentials of a valid contract? Lawful object, consideration, offer acceptance, and capable parties. Can you guys hear me okay? Can everybody hear me okay? Oh. Oh. Everybody can hear me? Okay, good. Offered acceptance, lawful object, consideration, and capable parties. It's the 4 essentials of a valid contract. Good. Let's look at the question on the board here. You entered a contract with a person not knowing he was judicially declared incompetent. The incompetence of one party to this agreement would make the contract voidable, void, enforceable, or valid. What do you guys think? And the answer is void. What is a valid contract? Anybody know? What is a valid contract? What do you need for a contract to be valid? What do you need for a contract to be valid? The 4 elements. What are the 4 elements? You need lawful object, capable parties, offered acceptance, and consideration. We just went over that. Good. So it doesn't have that. That makes the contract void. What is voidable? What is voidable? What do you guys think? What is voidable? What is a voidable contract? A voidable contract when you have the right to rescind. You have the right to rescind. Give me an example of a voidable contract. Give me an example of a voidable contract. Give me an example of a voidable contract. What do you guys think? A contract signed under duress. Good. What does duress mean? What is duress? Duress means you're pressured to do something you don't want to do. Good. You better sign the contract or else. If you signed to buy a blue house and the house is red, does that make the contract void or voidable? What do you guys think? You signed to buy a blue house and the house is red. Does that make the contract void or voidable? Voidable. If you guys don't know, when you click on the highlighted word, the definition comes up. Pretty cool, huh? According to the statute of frauds, a contract must be in writing in order to maintain a court action for enforcement is A, a bill of sale on real property, B, the employment of a business opportunity to sell stock, C, the employment of a broker to exchange the lessees on a property zoned for retail, or D, any real estate agreement which is not to be performed within 1 year. The answer is D. Good. What's the statute of frauds, guys? What's the statute of frauds? Writing. What's the statute of limitations? What's the statute of limitations? Time. All right, good. I've been exercising for a month now. I feel slightly more handsome. Mission accomplished. Actually, I don't know if I do. I think it might just be I wore a blue shirt today. That could be it too. Okay, moving right along. Which of the following is not an essential to a contract? A, acceptance, B, performance, C, offer, or D, consideration. What do you guys think? And the answer is B, performance. A contract is agreement to perform. It's not performance itself. What do you call a fully performed contract? What's that called? What's that called? What's a fully performed contract called? Anybody know? Executed. Executed contract. Good. What's it called when a contract is yet to be executed? What's that called? Executory. Good. Executory. You guys have been studying. Well done, everybody. Under a lease, the leasehold's interest lies in the A, lessee, B, landlord, C, beneficiary, or D, lessor. And the answer is lessee. Good. Lessee is the one who receives. Lessee, vendee, optionee, grantee, gives me property, makes me happy. Lessor, vendor, optional, grantor, give or proprietor for your pleasure. Remember, EE receives, OR gives. If you guys get this wrong, I'm going to cry. What is an executed contract? A contract terminated by either party. B, a contract that has been terminated by both the listed agreement and the homeowner. C, a contract that is dead in the water. Who says that? Or D, a contract in which all parties fulfill their promises and perform the contract. D. I need to modify that option of dead in the water. That sounds so creepy and so specific. Too much detail. A leased fee? I don't know. I'm assuming it's when the agent gets paid to find a tenant. Anybody know what a leased fee is? Charlotta Smith asked. I haven't heard that before. Which of the following is necessary for a real property conditional sales contract to be valid? Lawful object, competent parties, offer and acceptance, legally sufficient writing. B, consideration, offer and acceptance, mutual competent parties, or legally sufficient writing. C, consideration, offer and acceptance, lawful object, competent parties, legally sufficient writing. Or D, consideration, offer and acceptance, and express time element, and price. What do you guys think? C, consideration, offer and acceptance, lawful object, competent parties, and legally sufficient writing. Joe gave Stephen an option for the purchase of his property. In law, such an option is guarded as A, an agreement identical with the vendor-vendee relationship under a land contract. B, an offer to revoke a contract. C, an involuntary lien on the property. Or D, a contract to keep an offer open. The answer is D, an option. So an option is a unilateral contract. Why? Why is an option unilateral? What do you guys think? So you have bilateral contracts and unilateral. Why is an option unilateral? Because only one party is bound to the contract. Bilateral means both parties are bound to the contract. Okay. So what happens with an option contract, you're actually paying for the right to not do anything. So with a lease option, you're actually paying money, so you have the option to buy the property you're renting at a later date. You get that option because you pay money up front, or maybe you pay extra amount in lease every month. I don't know, but either way, you're giving some form of consideration, so that price is locked in for when you want to buy it at a later time. Move right along. Which of the following is created when possession and title do not occur at the same time? Subordination clause, writ of execution, estate of sufferance, or interim occupancy agreement. The answer is interim occupancy agreement. Good. What's title? Anybody know what title is? What's title? Title is ownership. If the lessee pays a fixed amount of rent plus all expenses such as taxes and insurance, the lessee is known as A. Graduated lease, B. Net lease, C. Gross lease, or D. Percentage lease. And the answer is B. Net lease. Good. What are the types of leases you learn when studying for the exam? Anybody know? What are the different types of leases? Gross lease, net lease, percentage lease, and sandwich lease. Good. The sandwich lease is just subletting. If you guys don't know, it's just a sublet. The lessor is also the lessee. A gross lease is when you pay a fixed amount of rent. A net lease is when you pay for tax, insurance, and maintenance. And a percentage lease is when you pay a percentage of the money coming in. All right. The party most likely to sue for specific performance in the purchase of real estate is the A. Broker, B. Lender, C. Buyer, or D. Appraiser. And the answer is buyer. Are you guys going to watch the Super Bowl this week? Who's watching the Super Bowl? Anybody? Anybody? I really don't have that much interest, to be honest. But I feel like I'm supposed to watch it, so I will. My brother's wife loves the Eagles. So by default, I want them to lose because she sucks. So that's my only interest in the game. Okay, here we go. The basic purpose of listing agreement is to authorize the broker to A, market the house, B, sell the house, C, find a buyer, D, negotiate the contract. And the answer is C, find a buyer. When you get a listing, you are not hired to sell the house because it's not your house. It's a contract to find a buyer. You do that with open houses, running ads, all that fun stuff. Anybody else have like in-laws you totally can't stand? No, we do not do state-specific webinars. Our webinars are meant for everybody. Stu, I think, is doing a crash course this weekend that's state specific. A promise in exchange for a promise supported by consideration is the basis for A, a unilateral contract, B, multilateral contract, C, offer to lease, or D, valid binding bilateral contracts. Valid binding bilateral contract. Good. All right. In April, Jones accepted an offer to sell the house to Brown. In June, Brown paid the purchase price and received the deed to the house and keys. After June, their contract was considered to be A, liquidated, B, implied, C, executed, or D, void. The answer is executed. We went over that before. Jan says some in-laws still treat their sons like a child. I feel like we're not talking about just anybody. It's very specific. Okay, to be valid, an exclusive listing contract must contain all the following except A, the final contract price, C, a description of the property, C, the signature of all interested properties, or D, an expiration date. What's the answer? The answer is A, a final contract price. Good, because that goes from the buyer and the seller. What is the difference between an exclusive listing and an open listing? What do you guys think? What's the difference between an exclusive listing and an open listing? Exclusive listing and an open listing. An open listing, it's kind of like an open relationship. Some people do it, but it's generally not that widely used. People kind of tend to judge. But you can do it as long as everybody's aware of what the deal is. An open listing means you could have a relationship with more than one broker at the same time, and who gets paid? Whichever broker's the procuring cause. Exclusive listings like an exclusive relationship. A little more common, a little more of a bond between the two, because it's a commitment to one person and one person only, one broker. Now, an exclusive agency, if the owner finds a buyer themselves, you get paid nothing. Therefore, an exclusive agency, you need to prove that you're the procuring cause. Exclusive right to sell, you do not. So I just mentioned an open listing, an exclusive agency listing, and exclusive right to sell. Which one of those does not need a definite termination date? Which one of those does not need a definite termination date? An open listing. Good, because you can hire somebody else whenever you want. Exclusive listings need a definite termination date because you're committed to one broker. So they need a time frame when you could say, ciao papa, time for somebody new. Me voy. The earnest money accompanying a purchase offer. A, must be held in escrow by the seller. B, is mandated by federal law. C, is generally 7.5% of the purchase price. Or D, is not necessary to establish a valid contract. Good. It's a good thing to have, but it's not like required by law. How many of you guys have the song in your head you're going to play for after you pass the exam? Anybody? Anybody? And how many of that song is Queen, We Are the Champions? You guys got to visualize the victory. Visualize the victory. After I passed the exam, I ran around the building like the ultimate warrior like 20 times. Children of the 80s know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, under exclusive agency listing, a broker advertises a home for sale. The owner finds a buyer and sells the home prior to expiration of the listing. The broker is entitled to A, nothing, B, half the commission, C, expenses only, or D, the full commission. The answer is nothing. Can I make a recommendation for you guys to do after you pass? Everybody ready? After you pass, hold the biggest party, barbecue, picnic, whatever you enjoy, you could possibly hold to celebrate you passing. Don't get drunk and don't be stupid, but you want to do that as a way to announce to the world you are ready to sell. And you have a reason to do it because you're celebrating a nice moment with the people who you passed. If you don't like meeting people and having people in a social event, maybe you shouldn't be going into sales. But this is an excellent opportunity to network and have a reason, and people are going to come out for you because they're happy for you. If you do it 5 months later, it doesn't have the same effect. Okay? I'm just telling you guys, you may think it's like rather weird and all that, but get over it. If you do it 6 months later, it's like, yeah, having a party because, I don't know, I need some clients, and it's just that's how I roll, so can you just come to my party, eat my food, and sell your house? You gotta like have a reason to celebrate. And so have a party, make it very clear you're celebrating that you entered the business, that you're a new real estate agent, all that kind of good stuff. And you could like deduct all the expenses of the party off your taxes because you're doing it as a promotional thing. So the moment you pass, which you will, have a big, beautiful event in your honor. And don't be shy. What do you guys think? Bueno consejos? A safety clause is found in A, listing agreement, B, deposit receipt, C, lease, D, loan broker statement. The answer is listing agreement. It's also known as a protection period clause. It's there to make sure you get paid. So after listing expires, you still get paid on the people you found during the term of the listing. Hijo. Abrazo. Okay, ciao. Soy enseñado clase. Ciao. Okay, so remember that protection period clause, you have to write down who you were working with during the term of the listing, and when the listing expires, you could close deals with those people. Good job, everybody. An option or an optionee make a contract for an option on a commercial piece of property. If the optionee decides to exercise the option, when must he perform? A, he can exercise an option whenever he wants. B, he must exercise an option when the optionor demands it. C, he must exercise his option under the terms of the option contract. Or D, he must exercise his option within 6 months under state law. And the answer is C, whatever's agreed upon. And yes, invite me to your party. I will go. Renia, what more do you want to know about an option? I'm located, where am I located? In the internet, in the World Wide Web. The buyer gives the owner of $2,500 payment and a written agreement stating that on June 1st the following year, the buyer will purchase the property for $475,000 cash, or the owner may keep the money. The transaction is known as a lease option to purchase, B, purchase contract with delayed settlement, C, an option agreement, or D, limited partnership. There's also a listing with an option, which means the agent has the option to purchase the property that they're listing. Somebody wanted another example. That's another example. What is it called when one person substitutes for another in a contract? A, hypothecation. B, novation. C, rediction. Or D, subordination. Novation, Latin for new. Nova is Latin for new. What other Latin have you learned? Ad valorem, according to value. Lease pendens, Latin for lawsuit pending. Pending litigation. Per otro vi, for the life of another. Caveat emptors, buyer beware. What is it called when a sum of money is submitted by a buyer with an offer to purchase? A, earnest money deposit. B, liquidated damages. C, limited liability premium. D, a warranty bond. And the answer is earnest money deposit. Good. All right, guys, that's all for today. Adios, adios, clase terminó. Adios, adios, la clase terminó. Adios, adios, la clase terminó. Adios, adios, la clase terminó. Woo! I hope you guys had a good day. Hit the like button below. I love the positivity. It always makes me feel good. 35 minutes. And I will talk to you soon. Ciao. Nos vemos pronto. Congratulations, Ruth, on passing. You're the best.